Hi everyone, I'm a crazy, crazy hat, Guy,
And I'm Donald Trump's wig stylist, Andrew.
and welcome to The Blossom and Smith Show, the show where we talk random shit, bullshit. BS is our initials,
Because it's our show.
and not yours. Da-da.
Yeah,
You mentioned when I made that intro that it was super gay. I mean,
it is, which is perfect for us.
yeah. If you can hear some things in our voices, one, my throat just seems a little dry. I'm hoping that I'm not coming down with something that everyone else seems to have come down, like
Yeah.
all of my teachers at college. Uh,
I hope you're not coming down with something either. I already have. I'm sick as, well, a dog, I guess.
yeah, wherever the hell that phrase came from.
You know, the dogs that are sick because they're
Uh,
dogs and they're sick.
I guess, well, dogs get really mopey when they're old, so
Yeah,
maybe that's where it came from.
maybe.
But now's not the time to speculate. First, we have.
News! Yay!
So
Uh,
let's hear. What all did you find today for us?
Nothing. News sucks. No, I'm kidding. I got us two news stories. In entertainment news, rapper Little Peep dies at age 21. The rising music star posted a chilling video on social media hours before his death. Rapper Little Peep has died at age 21 following a reported drug overdose. The New York-born musician, real name Gustav Ayer, was reportedly taken to hospital following an overdose. In a video posted on Instagram just hours before the star's death, he claimed, excuse me, he claimed to have taken prescription drugs, saying, "I'm good, I'm not sick." Little Peep, who came out publicly as bisexual in August, just days before the release of his debut album Come Over When You're Sober Part 1, in August, was seen as a rising star of the underground music scene. In an Instagram post shared just a day before his death, the singer wrote, "When I die, you'll love me." Fans and fellow stars have been paying tribute to Peep on social media, with DJ and producer Diplo writing on Twitter, "Peep had so much more to do. Man, he was consistently inspiring me. I don't feel good, man." Meanwhile, Peep's manager Chase Ortega, who broke the news, tweeted, "I've been expecting this call for a year. Motherfuck." Producer
Hmm.
Marshmello also paid tribute, writing, "Peep was the nicest person, hanging out with him, talking to him about music, the song ideas we were going to do together, and touring was so amazing. Everyone will miss you, man."
I guess me being a funny hat, today is a tin hat. I just saw my rainbow fedora and thought, oh, funny hat. Yeah, I'm a really funny hat.
Yes, you are, and I like putting you on. In politics, the House passes the tax bill in major step towards overhaul. In Washington, the House passed a sweeping rewrite of the tax code on Thursday, taking a significant leap forward as Republicans seek to enact 1.5 trillion in tax cuts for businesses and individuals and deliver the first major legislative achievement of President Trump's tenure. The House voted 227 to 205 to approve the bill shortly after Mr. Trump came to Capitol Hill to address House Republicans. 13 Republicans voted against the bill, and 0 Democrats voted for it. The Republicans who voted no were from New York, New Jersey, California, and North Carolina. The tax overhaul still faces significant obstacles, as Republicans must align the House legislation with a bill that is working its way through the Senate Finance Committee this week and contains big differences that will have to be bridged. Republicans are under pressure to get legislation to Mr. Trump's desk by Christmas, especially after failing in their attempt to dismantle the Affordable Care Act this year, even though their party has full control of the government. Lawmakers also want to push the legislation through quickly to avoid giving lobbyists and Democrats time to mobilize. Republicans do not wish to witness a replay of their health care catastrophe, during which the House managed to pass a repeal bill in May, but the narrowly divided Senate could never do so. The House tax bill, which passed in the Ways and Means Committee last week, would cut taxes for more than 1.4 trillion over 10 years. It cuts the corporate tax rate to 20% from 35%, collapses the number of tax brackets from to 4 from 7, switches the United States to an international tax system that is more in line with the rest of the world, and eliminates or scales back many popular deductions, including one for state and local taxes paid. For the first time in 31 years, we are wiping the tax code clean and replacing it with one that is fairer and simpler for everyone, says Representative Devin Nunes, Republican of California and a member of the Ways and Means Committee. House Republican leaders were unable to win over a number of Republicans from high tax states like New York and New Jersey, who have fought to preserve the deduction for state and local taxes. The House bill allows the deduction of up to $10,000 in property taxes, but that provision was not enough of a concession for them. At least 5 Republicans from New York and 3 from New Jersey have come out against the bill before Thursday's vote. I have just seen too many constituents who are going to see their taxes go up, said Representative Lee Zeldin, who represents a district on Long Island and was one of the several New York Republicans who spoke out against the tax bill on Thursday morning. You're taking more money from a place like New York in order to pay for deeper tax cuts elsewhere, Mr. Zeldin said. Even with the dissent from the New York and New York Jersey delegations, Representative Kevin Brady, a Republican of Texas and the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, said this week that he was confident that Republicans had the votes to pass the bill. On Thursday, he made it clear that the tax effort was far from over. The intent of our tax reform bill is to achieve tax relief for individuals at every income level in every state, Mr. Brady said. There are still some areas where we will and can make improvements. On the Senate side, the Finance Committee was holding another day of debate over its tax legislation, with a vote by the panel expected later this week. If Republicans fall in line behind the bill, it could get a vote by the full Senate after Thanksgiving. But the Senate proposal faces an uncertain future given the reservations of a handful of Republican senators. Republicans have a narrow 52 to 48 majority in the Senate, leaving them with little room for defections. Adding to the uncertainty, Republican senators reopened the contentious debate over health care with a decision this week that as part of the tax overhaul, they would end the Affordable Care Act's requirement that most people have health care coverage or pay a penalty. And a new analysis of the Senate bill by the Congressional Joint Committee on the Taxation could also complicate the bill's trajectory. The committee said on Thursday that legislation would raise taxes on lower-income families. Americans earning $30,000 or less would see their taxes increase beginning in 2021 if the Senate bill becomes law. The committee also projected that Americans earning $75,000 or less would face larger tax increases in 2027 after the individual tax cut expires. When looking only at individuals' tax bills and not the effects of corporate taxes on individuals' incomes, the committee said Americans at all income levels would see tax increases in 2027, compared to what they would have been if the Senate bill had not been passed. Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, the ranking Democrat on the Financial Committee, called the development astounding and warned that middle-class taxpayers would get clobbered under the latest Republican plan. When you're reaching for the cranberry sauce, Republicans are going to be reaching for your pocketbooks to give handouts to multinational corporations, Mr. Wyden said. Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah, the Republican chairman of the Finance Committee, said that the appearance of a tax increase was a mirage that is the result of arcane scoring rules. Because people will no longer have to purchase health insurance, they may no longer receive tax credit subsidies for insurance that they do not purchase. Without those credits, they see an overall uptick in their tax liability, Mr. Hatch said. On Wednesday, Senator Ron Johnson, Republican of Wisconsin, became the first member of his conference to come out against the tax plan. The votes of several other Republican senators, including Susan Collins of Maine and Bob Corker of Tennessee, are also far from assured.
Well, at least I know Ron Johnson is one of those who thinks that the corporate taxes are important for making sure that state taxes are kept low, because Wisconsin is one of those states where we don't like talking about taxes unless it's about keeping corporate taxes up, because it's what funds most of the state.
Uh-huh.
Compared to our neighboring states, we kind of rely on them. I know Michigan does too.
I see.
There are some clear issues with this, especially I mean, yes, trying to internationalize the way that we do our taxes might seem like a good thing. In many ways, it is. It's just the fact that there are some things that in the US just can't work the same as internationally.
Ah, got it.
Taxes is one of those few things because we
Yep,
have such high wealth inequality.
yep,
And cutting corporate taxes by 15% is a lot?
yep.
Where the hell does all that money go?
That's a good question.
And what is going to be cut in the end budget? I mean, even the
Another good
US
question.
military doesn't use that much money overall. I just thought.
Good question. Yes.
What?
You said you just thought what?
Um, I just thought that, the US military
Okay, I
not
thought you
using
was.
as much money as being caught
Yeah,
or
no,
cut
I thought you were
is
gonna. I thought you were gonna expand on that.
no.
Oh, all right then. I got one more story because more sexual harassment. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, 2017 has become. We last year was the year of I can't believe we're losing so many celebrities. This year has become I can't believe I can't hate all these celebrities.
Yeah. What a
Next on the
turnaround.
chopping, I know, right? Next on the chopping block is former actor and senator of Minnesota. Excuse me, not yeah, senator of Minnesota, Mr. Al Franken, or he's a senator from, you know what I mean. But anyway, excuse me, Senator Al Franken, who was originally way back in the day, and actually for a good amount of 20 years, was on Saturday Night Live as both an actor and a writer.
Hmm.
And then he went into politics and became a senator. Good on him, but apparently no. A growing national outcry over
Let me
sexual
guess.
harassment has.
Really quick. He is Republican, like Reagan, like Trump, etc.
Oh, he's Democrat.
Oh.
I know Al Franken, he's Democrat.
Oh, never mind.
I know that makes it a little more shocking because he's Democrat, but
Yeah.
that's not the point. But we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, a growing national outcry over sexual harassment has reached the Senate on Thursday when a radio newscaster recounted being groped and kissed without her consent by Al Franken, Democrat of Minnesota, during a 2006 USO tour of the Middle East before he took public office. Mr. Franken, who has been mentioned as a possible presidential candidate, almost immediately released an apology to the newscaster, Leanne Tweeden, who released a picture showing Mr. Franken groping her as she slept. Miss Tweeden also described being forcibly kissed by Mr. Franken during a rehearsal for the show in which he was participating as a comedian. I will get the picture for you later so you can put it up.
Oh,
Anyway,
jeez.
the first thing I want to do is apologize to Leanne and to everyone else who was part of that tour, to everyone who has worked for me, to everyone I represent, and to everyone who counts on me to be an ally and supporter and champion of women, Mr. Franken wrote. I respect women, I don't respect men who don't, he continued, and the fact that my own actions have given people a good reason to doubt that make me feel ashamed. The statement was significantly longer and more contrite than Mr. Franken's initial response, which failed to quell the blowback that quickly consumed Capitol Hill. Senators Mitch McConnell, Republican of Kentucky, and Chuck Schumer, Democrat of New York, the Senate leaders, wasted no time before forwarding the matter to the Senate Ethics Committee, a move supported by Democrats, including Mr. Franken. As with all credible allegations of sexual harassment or assault, I believe that the Ethics Committee should review the matter, Mr. McConnell said in a statement. I hope the Democrat leader will join me on this. Regardless of party, harassment and assault are completely unacceptable in the workplace or anywhere else. Democrats gave Mr. Franken no quarter. This is unacceptable behavior and extremely disappointing. I am glad Al came out and apologized, but that doesn't reverse what he's done or end the matter. I support an ethics committee investigation into these accusations, and I hope this latest example of the deep problems on the front spurs continued action to address it, said Patty Murray of Washington, one of the most senior Democratic women in the Senate. Mrs. Tweeden published a first-person account of the incident on KABC radio in Los Angeles on Thursday. She wrote that it occurred in December 2006, not long before Christmas, when she was a performer for the tour alongside Mr. Franken, back then a well-known comedian. She also presented evidence, including a photograph of Mr. Franken, his head turned towards the camera with his hands placed over Miss Tweeden's breasts as she slept. According to Miss Tweeden's account, Mr. Franken wrote a bawdy script that included a kiss for the two to perform on stage. When it came time to rehearse the sketch, she wrote, Mr. Franken insisted on kissing despite her protestations. I immediately pushed him away with both of my hands against his chest and told him if he ever did that to me again, I wouldn't be so nice about it next time, Miss Tweeden wrote. I walked away. All I could think about was getting to a bathroom as fast as possible to rinse the taste of him out of my mouth. I felt disgusting and violated, she added. Miss Tweeden said that no one else witnessed the kiss, and she did not tell the tour's organizers. She said Mr. Franken retaliated against her with insults, and she learned after the trip ended the compromising photograph. Miss Tweeden said the photograph was taken while she was asleep on a flight back to the United States from Afghanistan, and that she saw it only later, after the trip ended. I felt violated all over again. Embarrassed, belittled, humiliated, she wrote. How dare anyone grab my breasts like this and think it's funny? Miss Tweeden wrote that she had been compelled to share the story after an on-air conversation with Representative Jackie Speier, Democrat of California, who has been a leading voice sounding alarms about sexual harassment on Capitol Hill in recent weeks. Speaking on air on KABC Thursday morning, Miss Tweeden, a former model, said that women were often too blamed for provoking male aggression based on their looks or clothing. You're just a girl in a man's world anyway to begin with, she said. You are always going to be overpowered by a man who is on SNL and who's going into a political world. The guy always gets unscathed in those situations. Miss Spire and others have labored to force Congress to begin grappling with sexual aggression that has long been a part of work life on Capitol Hill. She testified at a House hearing on the topic on Tuesday that helped draw increased scrutiny of the sort that has already begun to take place in Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and newsrooms in New York and Washington. I want to have the same effect on them that Congresswoman Jackie Spire had on them, Miss Tweeden wrote. I want them and all other victims of sexual assault to be able to speak out immediately and not keep their stories or their anger locked up inside for years or decades. Senators, including from Mr. Franken's party, did not rush to his defense on Thursday. They did not stop short of meting out a punishment for the fellow senator. Sorry. Senator Claire McCaskill, a Missouri Democrat who has spoken publicly about being a victim of sexual harassment, said that the behavior attributed to Mr. Franken was completely unacceptable. Mrs. McCaskill, like others, said the ethics committee should examine the issue. I believe her, and if there's an ethics review, then that should move forward as well, said Senator Tammy Duckworth, Democrat of Illinois. Senator Johnny Iskowen, the committee's Republican chair, cited committee rules in saying that he could not comment on a prospective investigation. Republicans tried to turn the accusations to their political favor. The campaign committees of Republican Senate and House candidates sent out a blizzard of news releases demanding that Democrats denounce Mr. Franken and return campaign contributions that he had made.
And yet, Republicans tried to continue to denounce their own sexual harassment issues.
Yes.
Can we just brand Republicans as sometimes hypocrites, forced hypocrites, and people who really need to learn to not use alternative facts?
Sadly, I don't think that will happen.
Eh, worth a shot. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I think, will that do it for news, or do you have any stories, or...
Not particularly. Usually I leave it up to you to find the news stories.
Well, I got 3. I thought 3 would be good instead of getting like a bunch of different news stories.
Yeah, 3 in-depth stories, something to comment on. Remember, guys, the show is a work in progress. We're still figuring out how we do all this.
Yes,
And again,
so
we're
we
gonna
have to bear
apologize
that.
because last week we didn't actually even wind up doing the second part So
No,
that's
we
why we're
only
trying
got
to recondense the show.
yes, we only got Dragula done, which I was kind of happy with because I like talking about Dragula, but it's better to get the whole thing done.
Yeah. Um, it just feels more concise and sort of straight to the point instead of adding a lot of extra frill and so much extra thought and whatnot sometimes.
Yeah,
Because while this show is mostly what comes to mind, it still tries to be clear and understandable, if that makes sense.
yes, we try our best to make it as easy to follow as possible. But anyway, we shall be moving on to the next part of our great podcast
Dracula.
and drag talk in general.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times. But first, we'll talk about drag, as we'll be getting to Dragula very soon. But I'd like to bring up a quick drag, talk in general about World of Wonder. Time to talk about
Yes.
World of Wonder and how they are fucking up royally.
Yes, so for those who don't follow World of Wonder, they are the main producers of both Drag Race and they have
Now
taken over for
Dragula.
Dragula this season,
As
alongside
well
Out
as,
TV.
yes,
And
which is, although I noticed how TV has also taken up residence of taking Hate starring Johnny McGovern and Lady Red. So good on Out TV for getting a lot of queer shows.
oh, that's cool. Um,
Yes.
I guess Out TV. Oh, now that I think about it, that's probably why they got Dragula. Dragula probably was originally gonna stay with Hey Queen, but then because they were getting picked up by a network, they were able to get a production company that could host them, World of Wonder.
Yes, it makes sense to go with World of Wonder because they are, as stupid as they're being right now, they are a respected production company.
For queer and drag television in general.
Yes, queer, LGBT, all that different things that are of the of good stuff right now. Drag Race, Dragula, what's the other one? Like just
The
drag
Trixie and
shows.
Katya show,
Well,
and
that's on. Well, I was just say that's on Viceland, but
well, yes,
yes,
but WoW Presents are still producers on it.
I think so. Yeah, it might
Much like
be.
how, again, Dragula is hosted on Out TV, so they have Out TV production
Well,
with
yeah, come on.
WoW Presents, well, production.
Yes, it's both. They have more than one production thing. One for
Yeah.
TV, and then WoW Presents basically is like, and we make it for our channel and online and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Out TV
Yes.
just adds the commercials.
Yes. I guess they add commercials. They help fund. They probably added some crew, and I know that WoW
Yeah,
Presents because they have worked with production and stuff. And Out TV having now taken up Hey Queen, uh, they combine and like have their crews from both season one and now the additional members of season two that are helping to make things, really up the budget. So it's all really cool and good, but then there's
but
WoW Presents Plus.
an annoying little based subscription service for $4.99 a month that unfortunately really fucking with fans of WoW.
Yeah, so currently they don't have too much on their thing. Several people have gotten trials and have found there's not much, if any, content on there that is really worth seeing, and you're not going to get that frequent of content, at least at first. So it's entirely possible that WoW Presents is not going to get that much up for the first year, even because there are going to be so few people actually supporting it.
A main problem, especially one that has just recently come out, is that fashion photo review, a WoW
Mm-hmm.
Presents show, is now seemed to be exclusively on WoW Presents Plus, which is pissing off a lot of fans.
Yep. And one worse part, they skipped over the Dragula one. They promised that they would do Dracula first, then do All Stars 3.
I mean, they may still have. I haven't seen it. I just saw that they just talked about. But I would just say they probably didn't. But I have. I personally have evidence, or of course, in our case, receipts that basically in the comments for the last uploaded fashion photo review on YouTube, somebody asked Dracula fashion photo review when? Wow Presents replied, Dracula fashion photo review will be next week, and then All Stars 3 will be the week after. This was 2 weeks ago, mind you. So neither of those have ever been uploaded, and I don't think they ever mentioned Dracula, which is why he says that, is that they only ever mentioned the All Stars 3 one. So that's very worrying.
I mean, they might wait a little bit to get more looks, but I mean, if they only do one, especially with the good queens this season, that is so wasting an opportunity for content and being able to help promote Dracula.
Oh, agree.
The first season of Dracula was super, super gritty, and it featured a lot more filth than this season, I guess you could say. Though there is definitely plenty of filth this season, I have to say, there's a lot more punk, and there is a lot of work. There's a closer to drag race style flops, I guess you could say, where it's like
Agree.
someone's just got an idea that might really be cool, but then it's somewhat poorly executed, and then it doesn't fit the challenge in the end.
As I have done my homework and gone to Wow Presents Plus, right there. All Stars 3 promo looks, fashion photo review. Only on Wow Presents Plus.
Mm-hmm. And no
With
Dracula?
what? Nope, no Dracula, Season 2, Episode 1. Yes, let's move on to Dragula. A lot of Dragula yesterday, or Tuesday, sorry. And there was a lot of different things happening. It was a rock challenge, rock stars,
Mm-hmm.
and lip sync to performances as a group of four. But we'll get to that once we get to the floor show. But the opening was kind of cute. It wasn't as good as the last two, I think, because it wasn't as shady towards RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, it was just,
It was just let's order a pizza, and then we eat the guy who delivers the pizza.
yeah, so basically they ordered a pizza boy.
Essentially, they were like, "Ooh yeah, and make it sausage and stuff it and put two big meatballs on it. Ooh yeah." Or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was funny because I really need to learn the other one's name. I feel bad that I haven't learned her name, but she's not interesting enough to me to learn her name.
Her name isn't out there, really.
No, it's not. It's really Swantula's the one who has the name, really.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was Swanthula.
Oh yeah, Swantula. Never mind, it is Swantula. I always say Swantulu. It just sounds
I
more.
know, and you got me into saying that too, but
Oh,
I have
good.
to keep thinking Swanthula.
That makes me happy that I got you into saying it. Well, I think Swantulu because it's because they're Boulay brothers and they're all like evil and horror. Doesn't Swantulu would have made more sense because it's closer to Cthulhu.
Well, of course it's based off of Cthulhu, but it's based off of also Swan and for feminine.
I know, but still, it would have been funnier if it had been Swantulu. But whatever. Yeah, Swantula. The only reason I know it's Swantula is because of Alaska in the trailer. It's like Swantula, bring me the axe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Swantula and the other one. Oh, I feel bad that I can't remember her name. It's funny that I can't, but it's the problem of, and I think, and I'm sure people have told her this before. Swanthula is, no offense, I feel like the more watchable one, the more energetic one, the more like interesting one. Again, that could just be me, but I've always found Swanthula to be just more interesting.
Dracmorda.
That's what it is. Yes, Dracmorda.
So now we remember what it is.
Until next week when we don't remember what it is.
Swanthula and Dracmorda Boule.
Yes. Swanthula seems to also, in my mind, be easier to say. But, like I said, I feel like Swanthula is more interesting.
Yeah,
Definitely more
although
energetic.
without Dragmorta, it wouldn't be, well, one, the Brule brothers. Two,
Yeah,
there are
exactly.
some
They
interesting things that Dragmorta does. That's just like,
agreed. Oh yeah, no, agreed. I agreed, but I feel like they need each other obviously because they play very well off of each other.
yes,
But I just feel like if I wanted to have a conversation with one of them, I would have a conversation with Swanthula.
I see what you
Dracmorda,
mean with that. Yeah.
Dracmorda would just be, watching by the side, like, can't believe this fucker doesn't want to talk to me, the little bastard. I was just saying, at least Swanthula knows how to put an eyelash on because I knew I was going to get that.
Yes. So,
Because in the
um,
intro, which you'll see from the picture, one of her eyelashes looks like it's about ready to fall off her face.
yeah, it's basically hanging on by a half, because
Yeah,
half of its
seriously.
glue apparently must have,
I was just
uh,
saying, as they were mentioning, as they were doing here, they were mentioning a bunch of rock songs. Her eyelash was living on a prayer.
yeah.
The intro featured them also talking about a lot of different rock songs, starting with the infamous, like, you knew it was going to be a rock song because Dracmorda was baking and Swanthula was trying to tell a story, and then it was like, "Are you even listening to me? Tell me a story because you're not cooking very well." And then she took a spoonful of sugar and put it on her dress, and Swanthula was like, "Oh, you poured some sugar on me," and I'm like, "Oh, bitch, that is such a like, wow." No, it's cute. It's funny.
It's well, here's the thing. The way they do their references is a lot more story based instead of just random one-liners and Drag Race.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of one-liners in that one for all the songs.
Yes.
There were a lot.
Yes, there were a lot.
I told them all, "You're on the highway to hell. Welcome to the jungle, 'cause we are the puppet master or master of puppets." I'm like, bitch, that was three in one sentence.
That's almost going too far.
Yeah, like, girl, stop. No, stop it. Although I like that they got a good dig at Monique at the beginning, saying, "Is like, you should have seen the looks on their faces, all of their faces." Well, except for Monique, nobody can see her face. Uh, it's funny because it's true.
Yes, their look at the beginning was very cool as well.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. It's still, and I thought the look they used for the floor show was cute too. But I don't know. I still say the look from the second episode is so far my favorite of all of theirs.
Yeah, it
It was
is.
very
It was
fancy.
great.
It was great because it was fancy, but it was also very gothic lady in the 1800s who also who's a very refined looking lady, but is also a vampire that will kill you if you're not looking right.
Here's my idea of what it was. A woman who was from the 1830s who was bitten and became a vampire. She's now in Hollywood with a refined look, still reminiscent of the Gothic era, but with some new Hollywood twists.
God, my boyfriend is so gay.
I know.
You're lucky that I love you so fucking much, and I mean a lot of fucking much.
What, me being this gay is too much for you?
I didn't say it was too much for me. I just said it was like, bitch,
It's a
you
lot?
gay. You gay. But the problem is, I feel like I made you this gay when I introduced you to drag.
I talk this gay about drag because that's how gay drag is.
Yeah, but even I don't talk this gay about drag unless I'm, in my. Oh,
The West Hollywood gay.
honey. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because being gay is wonderful, but sometimes you gay, honey.
Maybe it's a Midwest thing.
I mean, you could be like that lady from Family Guy. Oh, God. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Anyway,
Oh,
how
crap.
about we move on to the floor show, shall we?
Nah, I like making the audience feel uncomfortable by talking about sex.
I think that's the first time you directly said it, though.
What, I directly said the word sex?
No, directly mentioned that you're talking about sex on the show.
Oh. Fuck, 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 pussy, fuck, fuck, cock. There you go. Have a nice day with that, folks.
Perfect.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
uh,
Anyway, yes, let us move on to the floor show.
so let us begin with Bitch Puddin'.
Who was cute? Got a look of Pete Burns, Dead or Alive, 1980s, eye patchy.
Big curly hair and chains that are in swoopy patterns.
Yes, looks good. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I do too. It's quite cool.
Then there's Disasterina. Sorry, I always have to do it like that ever since. If you don't know why I'm doing it like that, go check out her YouTube channel and you'll know exactly why.
Uh-huh. Although we
Because
almost completely forgot to mention that the that again we're seeing guy from the pit crew.
Sean Morales.
Sean, right. Sean Morales. We're seeing
Yeah,
Sean Morales and
for the first time
Israel.
in his position as now Israel is on one side introducing a guest judge and Sean is on the other side introducing a guest judge. And
Mm-hmm.
I say it and I say it again. Ooh, Israel, you got competition.
Yes, two
Cause
very specific types of daddy.
yeah, but to be honest, I'd take Sean, even as old as he is, I'd take Sean over Israel because I don't know. Israel just looks like Israel. I'd have a fun time with Sean. Israel just looks like he would kill me. Oh, that was Willem. I was trying to think like who said that, and I remember that was Willem from the Beatdown. But like Sean is just like you look at him and you're like, "Ooh, you might be a daddy." I also and I want that shirt. That the two guest judges, by the way, were Michael Schmidt, a celebrity fashion designer, and a world renowned drag photographer, Magnus Hastings. I want the shirt he's wearing, which you'll see, like I said, when he posts his rules. The shirt is a excuse me. It is Meatball, the drag queen from season one, doing a fake cover shoot from which was I'm trying to think what it was. It was Demi Moore on Vanity Fair when she was pregnant, and it's Meatball instead, and I want that shirt like
It
now.
says Vanity Farm, Meatball Laid Bare, and I have to say that is pretty incredible.
I will look that up later because I want that shirt because A, Meatball is fabulous, and B, it's a hilarious shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But now back to the floor show. We move on, like I said, to Disaster. Never get over doing that because she is fucking crazy and I love her.
And I have to say, this is a pretty cool look. I
Very
like the
rock and
horns.
very devil. Like she took rock to like the back in the day when like the rumors would be that like Gene Simmons and Kiss were all devil worshippers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it takes it to the drag level of, yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
look like I'm
like
a devil worshipper. Ha ha ha
right,
ha.
like it's a rock devil worshiper. Like the people, the Christians would be like, "You can't be listening to that rock music. They're all the devil worshippers, don't you know?" Like that stuff. But yeah, I think it's a very well executed look. I could go quickly look this up because I wasn't sure who came first, the chicken or the dolly.
The chicken or the dolly?
I just thought that would be funny because it was like, because they always say, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the dolly? Dolly, okay, okay. Well, what came first, the Kendra or the dolly? And the answer is the dolly. But I like Dolly's look quite a lot. Very like rock. Like that's probably out of all the looks, it probably took rock the most seriously because it was
Yeah, it also makes
the punk
fun with
rock
metal.
spikes. Oh, absolutely. The punk rock spikes of hair, metal spikes, like the wings. It's. I think it all works, and it's very cool. And to be honest, I am kind of surprised, as we'll get into later, that Dolly didn't win the challenge. I really thought she would have, especially with this look.
Yeah, I mean, Dolly did really, really great. I think
Yes.
performance-wise, a little bit later, there were some slightly, well, competing
I
stars,
think
I guess.
Well, yeah, because Bitch was the lead singer, so it's understandable. But it's like, but it's almost like in Drag Race where when you do the looks, you if you do a look really well, a look can save you from being in the bottom. But at the same time, sometimes a look can be so good that it may even like help you be in the top. I feel like this was one of those times where the look was
Should have
so
helped be in the
good.
top.
Well, she was already in the top because she was part of the group that won, but I just feel like she could have won the challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, she used to be part of a fucking rock band.
Yeah. Blood on the dance floor, wasn't it?
That's right. Also, I should probably talk about that real quick. Is that earlier in the episode? This was definitely the episode where in Drag Race where they all talk about their problems. Well, they don't all talk about their problems, but like where it's like in Drag Race where it's like my father never loved me or this and this and this or da, 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 like that.
Mm-hmm. Typical gay
Which
stuff.
yes, which they did do. Erica talking about how her father knew that she was gay, but did not know that she did drag, so he was very worried about what she would think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Disasterina talking about how her father was never really accepting, but the most surprising one, well, not surprising, was uh, Dolly, or Jay as his boy name, was talking about his time in Blood on the Dance Floor, and where his apparent manager, even though he had HIV, the manager guy made him go on tour anyway. He wouldn't allow him, to get treatment or anything.
Yeah, there are some prescription things that kind of would make it a little bit difficult to actually go and get treatment in the place.
But
But
still, what he did was, from what they say, what he did was horrible.
yeah, he just
And
pushed
then,
them.
and then hold on, I can go to Twitter real quick because I know he said it. He said something about why he said it. Like he wasn't doing it to just like get it out there and say it.
Mm-hmm.
I also remembered that I noticed going through because I know a lot of the different trying to think of what shows. He actually is quite, even though it's Dahlia shows, he's he's got a lot of followers, probably mostly from Blood on the Dance Floor. He's verified on Twitter and he's got over 200,000 followers.
I would believe it.
So he's probably the most followed. I was gonna say he's definitely the most followed, probably of any Dragula queen.
Yeah. And I didn't even realize this was a case until he brought it up this episode.
And I need to keep going, keep going, keep going. Ah, here we go. Just FYI, I did not open up about my story on Dragula last night for any other reason than to educate and destigmatize my situation. Which, I totally get for him, and, it's cool. And I love the amount of people supporting him.
Yeah.
Many different. Just in that tweet alone, all the replies Abora, Erica, Ava Destruction. Um, I just want to point this out. Boomer Bang. Oh, you don't know who that is. You need to watch. I'll show you who Boomer Banks is after we're done recording.
Okay.
He's actually really. You should follow him on Twitter. He's a porn star, but he's a big drag queen supporter. Like he does a lot of stuff with drag queens, so I love him to death. He's actually the only porn star I follow. Well, the only
Oh.
male. I was to say the only male porn star I follow. I think
Oh, you
there
follow
may be.
female porn stars.
Well, yeah, because they're more entertaining.
I mean, I
And they
guess they're
also,
better
and they
actors.
also, well, I'm gonna say, and they also do a lot of stuff with drag queens. The only one I don't follow
That's
anymore,
true.
and she's visuals, was Jenna Jameson. I used to follow her all the time because she was a big drag queen supporter. She was a big visuals, and then she came out as like this Wilhelm Trump supporter, and like everybody was like, "Nope, bye." She even followed me at one point. I said, "Oh my god, she's following me at Trump," and then it's like the Trump supporter thing. I'm like, "How do I get people to unfollow me? Stop it." Luckily, she did, and I was like, "Good, I'm not dealing with that bullshit." But no, Boomer Banks is like I said. I'll show you after this. But he was like, "You are my hero." And he's like, "Love you, babe. I love it. But like, I don't know. I feel very proud of Jay for talking about it and just getting it out there and talking about it, just not keeping it bottled in.
Yeah, it's important to be able to bring this sort of thing up. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Somebody put "Hey ass," or they like, or I think this was a Bora, but talking about "Hey assholes," kind of a serious post. Love yourself enough to know you are worth being loved by someone just as you are. Don't stay in a relationship with someone who won't treat their mental disorders. K, go back to hating me.
yep.
Aww. That's why I'm glad I love you so much.
Hmm.
Yay. That's all. And also,
Awesome.
we love each other beyond reproach. See, we are lovey-dovey too in the stream. You get two gays talking about their love and their drag and all the other different things. We're done talking about Dolly and all the stuff that came from her. Again, fabulous look, and probably, well, I was gonna say for me, the second best look of the night. Even though it is amazing, in my personal opinion, there is one person who had a better look. I know Dolly would probably kill me for saying that, but there is one person. But we'll get to her in a second. For
Yes.
next, Kendra Onyx, the Spider Woman.
Yeah, it
It's not
would.
Rock.
No, it's not Rock. It would
As
sort
as
of
the
fit some other Dracula
as
challenge,
well, to say
maybe?
as the Boule, yeah, definitely probably fits some other, but as the Boulay Brothers said, it's very like Broadway, you know,
Yeah. It's
Kiss
not
of the
punk rock.
Spider. I was gonna say Kiss of the Spider Woman, but I was gonna say but it did not work for the challenge as far as rocker. No, not at all.
Yeah, that's a completely different genre.
Yeah, so sorry, Kendra, but you look cute though. Like, I liked her face. Her mug was gorgeous. I liked that she used the contacts to make like her eyes wide. Like she looked good.
Yeah.
She
Yeah, it was
looked good. It
awesome.
just didn't. I was gonna say she looked good. It just didn't work for the challenge.
Yeah, no. Sadly.
And I
Right.
love. Now we're talking about Erica Clash, and this is the one for me. This is the look that I lived for. This is my so far only shoot of Dragula so far. I don't care what anybody says. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. I love how it's. The problem here is that I love it so much, but the Boulay brothers didn't get it. And the problem is that it's sort of like I said last. It's the problem with what Loris had last season from the zombie challenge, as in Erica's look, just like hers, was inspired by Japanese culture, with Erica's look
Yeah.
here being inspired by very baby metal.
Yes. So, Baby
Go
Metal being a J-pop band is very simplistic. They have a completely different feel. They do still have grunge and uh, their sort of specific appearance, and I have to say this is perfect for that specific appearance. And I think that this
Agreed.
is a nice way of blending in to um, the U.S. punk rock scene as close as you can get, anyway.
But like, I'm so glad I can understand stuff like this because I like again, I'm a big. I don't know if I ever told you, but I'm a big K/J pop fan, which is so silly. It's like I don't understand what they're saying, but goddamn if I don't dance along.
I mean, yeah.
But I love Japanese, Korean. I love watching. I'll have to show that to you at some point. There's a channel called on my TV. There's a channel called Arirang or Arirang. I think I'm saying it right. It might be because of my cold. It doesn't sound right, but it's a
Hmm.
Korean channel and it's all different Korean shows, but they're in English. Like it's English speaking Koreans because it's all South Korean stuff.
Uh huh. Yeah.
But it's so good. They have so much good stuff. I'll have to show it to you at some point because it's a really fun channel. But anyway, yes. But Erica's look is very much inspired baby metal, J-pop. I love it. But like I said, it was a problem with the fact that the Boulet brothers could not understand the look, just like with Loris's rabbit look from the Zombie Challenge, which was taking inspiration from Japanese like horror with like rabbits, zombie rabbits.
Yes. So they tend to have zombie animals in addition to zombie
Yes,
humans.
right.
Um, although I will say the prosthetics that
Loris's
Loris
look was,
used were a little
yeah,
too clean
yeah,
for
very
it.
completely white, which was, yeah, that was probably the problem is if she had made it look a little dirtier and grungier. Whereas with this look, it worked. Like, because you know what I
Yes.
noticed? Because I look at it more, I do. You get baby metal, but then I also look at like the little bows that have eyes on them, the way the hair is styled. And I was gonna say, if you're looking at it, I wondered if you had gotten it yet. Doesn't it give you just a teensy bit of crybaby Melanie Martinez?
Yes. The split hair, that definitely made me think Melanie Martinez, the way that
I was
she
wondering.
does her exact half hair with the big
Right.
poofy hair.
And I thought
Um,
like the little eyeball with the bows on the hair. I thought that might.
yeah, it's like Melanie, I think, actually did take it from like Harley Quinn and a number of other
Which
play.
this look is also extremely inspired by, especially with the hair.
Mm-hmm.
But I like I said, this is probably my favorite look out of at least my favorite look. A of Erica's so far, and B probably for me the best look of the night.
Yes, agreed. It takes inspiration from so many sources and ties it in so nicely and into one place. It's coherent and it looks awesome, and I have to say, I love it.
Next, we move on to the bitch on stilts herself, Abora.
Uh huh.
Woman
Now,
is on stilts.
yes. Now, I have to say, this is very much like a drag version of Beetlejuice.
Very much so. As I think, so, I don't remember if that was how the Belay brother described it, but I think it was very to explain. Beetlejuice goes to the circus, or Beetlejuice at the big top.
Mm hmm. Beetlejuice at the big top. On stilts with a hoop in the skirt.
I
Um,
agree totally. It looks fantastic. I think it works. I think it works very well. The problem here, again, it looks like it was, but again, does it really scream rocker? I don't think so.
yes. It's a little bit more circusy, and it is a little too simplistic in my eyes to be rock
Yeah, because it is.
enough.
Yeah, because it really is just one color
Or
or
it's
two.
black and white.
You know what I meant. Like, or it's one color, like coordinate. Like it's just black and white. Maybe if she like, I think maybe if she like thrown some blood on it, or
Blood would have been interesting. A little less in the eye of rock. It might have even made it too much horror as opposed to rock, because this is a
oh,
punk-based challenge, not a horror-based
that's
challenge per
true. Well,
se.
yeah, but a lot of rock does include horror.
That's fair. Um, I'm just thinking, could there have been maybe leather? Beetlejuice as a rocker probably would have some sort of studded belt. The stilts probably could have been outfitted to actually be visible, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. I can agree.
Um, with a sort of train, maybe.
Ooh, a train might have been nice.
Or at least a short one. Maybe that doesn't necessarily trail on the ground because stilts don't like to be touching clothing, just so that it's still walkable. But that would have been an interesting clothing choice, especially with what was eventually there later. We'll show what's on Abora in the Rock Challenge because they do have different looks between the floor show and the
Yeah,
Rock
I was going to
Challenge.
say what the stilt look she wore for the rock challenge was, I thought, quite much cooler. I don't know.
Yes, it
I
was
still don't know if it
more
said.
rocker.
Yeah, but I was gonna say not really. I don't know if that much, but I was gonna say it definitely compared to what she had, it was a lot cooler. Definitely.
Yes. Thematically, this was neat. Challenge wise, it wasn't great. Alright,
Right,
now we have Miss Victoria Elizabeth Black.
who I love. Ooh, yes. Oh, yes.
I like it a lot too. I think it's simple but good. Someone had to have done it. Otherwise, I don't think it would have been rock, really, because this looks like a basic rock look.
It does. The problem, and that's true. It's like,
But not saying basic is bad in this case, because it has, like, color and it seems
it's
grungy. It
uh,
seems a little bit aged. It's
excuse me.
cool.
No, and you're right. It's just, I almost feel like it takes Dragula, or it takes Rocker Dragula almost, I was gonna say too far, but
Mm,
or or too what the word I'm thinking of, too to the point
maybe, yeah.
of look, this is rocker chick.
Yeah,
Like the
or
difference, or
androgynous
this is
rocker,
androgynous
as was
rocker.
said in there.
Right, androgynous rocker. Well, what I was gonna say is like you want to compare. Like a good one is excuse me, a good one like you compare Dolly to Victoria. They both give rocker, but Dolly does different things like with instead of just normal spiked hair, she went with metal, like actual metal spikes and like metal wings and stuff that
Yeah.
give off real rocker, like rocker, just like Victoria, but with a twist.
Yeah. Yeah. Victoria definitely could have done more to give her a win. This is a
Yeah,
nice little base. Again, it could have been
yes,
accentuated, some other things could have been thrown in. Although
yes.
I do still like this. I think it looks cool.
Agreed. No, no, no. It still looks cool. It's just there could have been more done to it. Now we move on to the performances.
You forgot about James Majesty?
That wasn't intentional, or was it? She's a biatch through and through. Doesn't mean she's bad. She's good at what she does, but she's still a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Or as she likes to tell people, she tells it like it is. Oh, so you're just a bitch with an excuse.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. Now, she did have a good. She was also giving me rocker chick, androgynous rocker chick, because she had titties, but then she had a tuck that was non existent because she was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna flap in my underwear like boing, boing, boing.
Mm-hmm. And then she had a
Oh, no,
cape. She had a
cape.
lot of leather
She had a lot of
straps
she
and
had a lot of props. She had the cigarette which she smoked and then put out on her tongue. She
she
had the
chainsawed a
disco.
disco ball.
That was interesting that she chainsawed a disco ball. Like
I thought it was
what?
cool. I
Well,
thought it
yeah,
was
like,
funny as well that
but it was just like the fuck.
I mean,
What?
she wore
What?
the eyeglasses
Was,
for safety. The disco ball was in a metal pail.
I know. Like what? Like I'm just like okay. You're going like, like what the fuck?
James likes to put on a performance, so I have to
That
say,
is James.
James, you may be a cunt, but you
Yes, she
do
is.
good.
You do okay. You forget last week.
Yeah.
She does. She can do good. I mean, she did win the first challenge after all, but
Yes.
she do okay. She do okay.
She hit and miss.
She hit and miss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She hit and miss. I got so many good screenshots.
Yes, you did. I love it. Thank you.
But let us move on to the performance. Yes, the performance. Ooh.
Ooh,
So,
yes.
just in the middle of it, you're just like, ooh, ooh, yes. You're like,
Yas Gaga.
just be like, yes, God. No, you don't, you gay fuck. No, what I was gonna say, because you could be like Trixie, where it's just like, yes.
Oh my god.
So this is how Trixie comes.
There's always time
Yeah.
for a cocktail.
That's, see, this is how this Miss Kosh Davis comes. There's always time for a cocktail, and then Katya just gets up and walks away. Of course, Katya moans like a fucking woman, like,
Uh, uh,
what are we doing? I mean,
I don't
actually,
know.
you should probably link that in the description, or you should go watch Drag Queens Moaning, a video on WoW Presents. Hopefully, they won't get rid of it. It's actually quite funny. Drag Queens Moaning is just a bunch of them like, yeah, yeah. Manila goes all out. She's just like, and then she's just like, oh, daddy, oh. Manila goes all out in that video. Manila and Jaden, like,
Yeah.
a lot of them go all out, but like, fucking Cynthia Lee Fontaine's just like, whoa, like she's fucking
Oh,
singing.
me cuckoo.
Oh, oh, put it in my cuckoo. Oh, that's not nice. I like Cynthia. Actually,
Yeah, Cynthia's awesome.
she wouldn't say it that she wouldn't say it like that. She'd be like, "Oh yes, I put it in my cuckoo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez, jeez, GPA signal lost. Hello, this is Cynthia Lee Fontaine, and this is my cuckoo. I was on the season 8 and season 9 of the RuPaul Drag Race, and you are very cute. I'll give you kisses from my cuckoo. Mwah. Cynthia, we love you. You follow
Yeah,
me
we
on
love you.
Twitter. We talk to each other. I love you. Mwah, mwah. I still remember the couple times when I used to retweet porn. This was months and probably years ago. Well, about a year ago anyway, when I used to retweet porn because I was a nasty Twitter channel. Not anymore. I'm a good little boy now. Uh, but I remember like occasionally when I would do that, she would like and then retweet it. I'm like, oh, so she a filthy bitch. Okay. I get it, Cynthia. You a freak. I get it.
And I'm living for it. All right. So now
Oh,
let's go to the rock challenge.
yes, let us move on to the performance. We'll start with the first band, also known as The Fake.
So at first we thought, or I thought, that they were singing to two different songs. No, they
I
were singing
thought
to
I
the
had
same song.
yes, they're both lip synced to the same song. I had pointed that out, but he thought it was the same song, which is understandable because it's you wouldn't sure if it was you wouldn't think like why would they do the same song, but after watching it back so I could get the screenshots, I was like, oh, okay, it is the same song.
And I guess I understand the reason why it would be the same song. It's two different performances with two different takes, and what actually fits better and whatnot.
And starting with the fake, they did not do that well.
Yeah, no. Although, here's the thing, the bright, fun colors actually fit the song
I
theme more
did
than
like
the
the
grungy yellow.
I did like the fun colors that they were. They were all like different colors, which I thought was very cool.
I thought that the look was, I would say modern punk rock. I mean,
Yeah,
admittedly,
I
the
think
song is actually modern punk rock, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think their looks were better maybe because they were all so different, whereas really with the other group they were more all cohesive with their looks, which isn't necessarily bad, but it was nice that with the first group we were able to get different looks.
Yes, we were able to get a lot of uh, personal touches, and it looked cool. It
Yes.
it was cohesive in a way. I mean, lead singer,
Victoria
uh,
Black,
yes,
Victoria
Victoria, and
Elite,
then
drummer James Magister,
Abora on the
guitarist. Oh
stilts.
no, yes, Abora on the stilts, and I believe the bass.
Kendra?
Kendra was well. They were both on guitar. Yes.
I thought the green and orange were actually a really
Oh, I
good
know. I really
choice.
liked it. Especially, I liked the fact that Abora. I liked the fact that Abora's costume for the stilts was see through. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
Kendra looked like the
It added
oldest
to the
cheerleader
opening
who ever
where
lived.
the other three girls were
They
underneath
were
her
under it. Yeah.
skirt.
At the beginning, they're underneath her skirt, and they come out. And Kendra looking like the oldest cheerleader who ever lived. This is
Yeah.
my costume from 20 years ago, and I still fitted it. Hooray! Now let me go do a thing.
I do have to say there was a certain sort of
Silly, silly quality of
silly
it.
fun camp to
Yeah.
this.
Especially
Um
like there were other things that I didn't get, which I may get later, where Victoria ripping out James's tongue or fake tongue, and then James spewing out fake blood.
yeah.
But they were okay. They were not as good as the next performers that we're going to get on to. PMS. And that was my Alaska impression.
Mhm.
Anyway, you didn't get the joke.
I did.
Oh, what was the joke?
Penis.
No, well, that was also going for the fact that she's a snake. But yeah, because I still remember that we're like, "Can you snake charm me, Trixie?" Oh yeah, sure. Trixie's playing the recorder, and Katya's just dancing around, and then all of a sudden Alaska pops up, and she's just like, "Hi." But yes, we move on to PMS, consisting of Bitch Pudding on lead vocals. Let me rephrase that, and let me rephrase that for Victoria too. Bitch Pudding and Victoria on lead lip syncing.
Yes.
Dolly on guitar, obviously, even though she's also lead vocals for her own. She was the lead vocals for the band Blood on the Dance Floor, but she could play a mean guitar.
Yeah.
Erica, which I got a lovely screenshot of. I like the way she looks here. I love her face makeup. I love Erica's face makeup. Just a random thought. Like, I like how it looks. Doesn't it look cool?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the checkerboard face. Like, I love it so much.
It looks really, really cool.
It
And I mean, it took
does.
the Japanese and video game sort of aesthetic really a
Yeah,
little
it
bit
really
further.
did. Which I think she does very well. But yes, anyway, so her and Dolly on guitars and Miss Disasterina on drums. Or what is left of the drums
Yes.
after they bash it into Bitch's head at the end of the performance.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second because I think they performed very well. They perform. The problem was that I think the problem with the other band that this band didn't have. This band definitely performed more cohesively. They looked cohesive and
Yes.
they performed cohesively. They did different things, like as you can see here, they are tearing bitch pudding. They're like putting the microphone around her throat. And they're like, "We're gonna kill you, you bitch!" At one point, I didn't get a screenshot of it. I maybe should have. They take beer bottles and they shake it up and throw at them like they're pissing on them. And then, like I said, at the end, you see Disasterina takes one of the drums and bashes it on bitch's head,
Yeah.
and
You see dust fly, and it's
it's
like, oh
bad.
yeah.
And it was a much more enjoyable performance to watch because it was so like they're getting to do stuff, they're enjoying themselves. I thought it was hysterical and enjoyable.
Yeah, me too.
And I agree that probably, and I can agree probably why is because she was the lead lip syncer or whatever. The Bitch Pudding came out to be the winner of the challenge, even though the entire group necessarily won. Like they were all safe, but only one person could win, and that was Bitch Pudding.
Yes. And I have to say, if she really was the one who led and planned everything, that
Yes,
I guess she
agreed.
deserves that win because she did
And
a lot of
also
planning and it was
she
good.
also took a lot of punishment.
Yes.
So that probably was another reason why she deserved it. Is A, she got beer thrown on her. B, oh, I almost forgot to mention. Oh, I didn't get a screenshot of that. I need to get a. Oh no, yes I did. Yes I did. Yes I did. You can't see it very well, but it's the one where Dolly is looks like she's doing a backwards bend. You'll put that one in there too. If you look on the floor, you'll see they threw French fries on the floor.
Oh yeah, they just dumped French fries on
thought,
her.
I don't know why, but I thought that was hysterical. They were just throwing French fries everywhere, and I was like, "What the
That
fuck?"
was just the first thing. It was like, what? I mean,
Why
it's
are there
funny.
French fries everywhere? But it was funny. But they threw French fries everywhere. They took the microphone thing and put it around her neck. Although they probably didn't. It was all fake. But it was very good, like miming of like
Yes.
choking her with the microphone mic. Again, putting the drum through her head, which was hysterical.
Yeah, it was all really funny.
Yes, and so it came down to the extermination challenge, which consisted only of Victoria and Kendra, as James and Abora were declared safe.
Yes, so I have the feeling that it's because they could only do so much in one night with
Yes.
the tattoos.
Yes, tattoos, but I also was to say that kind of blows your theory from or not your theory, just your comment from last time. When now there are technically lows
Yeah.
because they were in the bottom, but they were safe. So I guess now James and Abora both have lows.
Uh-huh.
I was to say this is the first time we've seen it, so who knows? Maybe this is the only time we'll see it. But
Maybe.
eh,
Although wait, the last time I said there was no safes.
well, technically there's save. There's always safe. So whoever's not a winner is safe.
Yeah, I think they were distinguished as high and low though. So there
Trying
were lows. We'll have to check
no.
again later.
Yeah, we'll have to check
Here's a
again
chart on the screen
because
so
I
that
thought
you
she
can see.
wasn't. Yes, and the scoring chart. Yes, that'll be great if you could get the scoring chart, honey.
An updated scoring chart.
Yes, I was gonna say. Well, that might just be good to get every week an updated scoring chart.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say wasn't because I was gonna say wasn't bitch pudding safe last on the first week because they said like you're not low, you're just middle of the pack, you're safe. Didn't they say that about bitch pudding?
I think they might have.
But for now, we talk about the extermination challenge. They had to get tattoos, fucking tattoos.
Yes, on the body art bus.
Yes, on the body art bus,
Body
which
art bus. Vegan safe organic pigments. Live
Yay!
tattoos.
Hooray! So, just to say what they got, basically the challenge was they both had to get tattoos. I don't think either of them had tattoos, which may have been a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Although I still can't believe, like, ugh, I would not agree to that. Like, I'd be like, all right, I'm sorry, send me home. I love you, bye. Although to be honest, I would have copped out of the first one. You're gonna put needles in me? I'm sorry, goodbye. I love you all. I'm the first to go home on Dracula. Bye. Like I thought the first season was bad, not literally burying them, but like burying them alive. Well, fake burying them alive, really.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
all the
like
stuff that came down the
eating the
tubes that was
pig.
bad enough.
Yeah,
The
eating the pig,
needles were pretty
eating the pig
bad.
stains, eating
But
the.
this is a whole other type of needle.
This is a whole new. Yeah, this is a whole new level of. Ugh. But so to explain, they both had to get tattoos. They could get them. They could get whatever they want, and they could get it wherever they want. It was just they had to get a tattoo, and the person who got the most crazy tattoo would stay the next week. So to
Mm-hmm.
explain what they got, Kendra got a tube of lipstick and the word Dracula. I'm assuming that was to say they both got Dracula, which makes sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might have been a requirement.
Nah, I don't know if it was a requirement. I just think it was
Or
like,
if it
do
was
you
just
really
trying
get
to
it?
get
No matter
brownie points and they both
what.
did it the same way. Because they
Which
both got red Dragula.
no, I think.
Or wait,
Uh,
no.
yeah,
Kendra
no, I
actually
think
didn't
Kendra
get
got
red.
black.
Never
Kendra got
mind.
black. Yeah, Kendra got black,
Hmm.
just like the tube of lipstick. But
Yeah, and the tube
other
of
than
lipstick
stuff,
wasn't even red. So
I
now
know
that I
that.
think about it, it is actually kind of obvious why Kendra got sent home.
Yeah, his Kendra got a black tube of lipstick and the black word Dracula. And Victoria got slut and Dracula in red. And
Yeah.
it's ugh. But I don't even want to talk about it. Like that's just I'm sorry, this shit is not worth $10,000. I really hope they up the prize money next year.
Yeah, I know.
It's like now you'll be getting $11,000. Now go jump into a pit of lava. Fuck you. Oh,
To
you were
get the
gonna
pure
fix.
black, I think because they're using an organic ink, they had to do it 2 layers.
Ooh, that had
Because I
to hurt.
see the slut is in green.
Oh, it is. Oh,
When you see this work in progress picture,
oh
slut
yeah.
underneath is in green, and then there's the stencil for Dragula, and it's
Dracula,
being
you're
inked
right.
in red.
Yeah. Oh
There
yeah.
aren't very many, especially dark black pigments, which is why you see Kendra only had one pass with a lighter pigment.
Yeah, which makes sense, of course, why she went home, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, you're right. Oh, that sucks. That just like oof, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah, I mean, she got it on her thigh, which is a little bit more, excuse
Well,
me,
that's what I
painful and
thought. Like
more
that was stupid. Whereas
visible.
like yeah, right. Whereas James just or why do I keep saying James? Where Victoria got it, I keep probably saying James because I want James to be in the bottom. Uh, but no, Victoria got it on her ass, which probably was like I said, it's not going to hurt as much, and A, it's a lot less, or B, it's a lot less visible.
Yeah.
I still, because she talked about that, she was like, I can't wait for my boyfriend to see it. I just imagine when she came home, she's like, "You ready to fuck?" Yeah. And then she takes off her pants. What do you think of the tattoo, honey? Oh shit! Where did where did that come from? Welcome to Dracula.
I mean, well, here's the thing. It would be clearly obvious because there's branding right underneath slut.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, where did that come from? I'm like, read the rest of the tattoo, dumbass. Anyway, we move on to the extermination itself, or the elimination, or the execution. That's what I was looking for. Execution.
Yes.
The execution of Miss Kendra Onyx. She was walking to her car. Of course, the Boulay brothers left her a little note before she got there. And she was like, "Ooh, I won something. Hooray!" And then she opened it up the car and was like, "You won. What did I win?" And she opened it up and a poof of smoke hit her right in the face. She ran around coughing. "Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm out of drugs." Fell to the
She
ground
pulls her
outside in
hair
front of it.
out.
Yes, she pulls her hair out. She spits up blood. See her being poisoned. Gets into her car and her falls down dead on her steering wheel. and only then do we finally see what she won.
A slow and painful death.
So now, 7 queens remain. Who will be the
This.
next to go? I don't know, honestly.
Neither do I. There's no real way to predict at this point.
No, there's really not. Oh my god, I take it all back.
What?
You sons of whore bitches. WoW Presents uploaded the fashion photo review of All Stars 3.
Oh!
Well, fuck, we were wrong.
Maybe they were dealing with too much backlash and they're like, fuck,
That's
no,
true.
go back, go back. We still have
That's
time.
fine. Yeah, we still have time. I just so we'll be watching that after this, but that's not the point. Because we're not paying for it. That's the one thing I will stand by. I'm not paying for it. God damn it! It bugs me.
Yeah, I mean, again, there are the people that are willing to pay for it, that have all the extra money. I'm a college student. I don't.
I'm just poor. Well, I would just say I'm not poor, but I'm saving my money for important things. And
Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm already donating money to other people, so I don't want to have to do even more a month thing. These are people that, like, I know I'm not going to change my opinion on supporting them.
Yeah.
I can't add even more money per month because I'm already donating enough as it is.
And it's not super distributed either, because I know that WoW Presents Plus is going to distribute it across people who actually would earn income. At least
But
for those who get WoW Presents Plus, it's not particularly costly.
no. Anything else to talk about?
Um, well, there is. I can do a brief thing. Well, here's information, because this will
Well,
actually probably have gone up on Saturday. Saturday is the day of Minecon Earth, so we'll actually have the results, and I'll probably put them in the description by then.
yes.
But Minecon Earth is the new
Actually,
convention of sorts that is taking over for, well, Minecon. Minecon has been held officially in one location most years. There have been some years where it was skipped because they weren't able to actually get the place and the time that they wanted. I forget when exactly the dates were, but Minecon has always been a giant gathering of people, and there have been a good number of conventions that have been the more local ones, more regional, that have taken their own precedence, and people have actually started to promote and stuff. They were more recently brought to light as well. But Mojang has made the move to make Minecon now a live stream, a short one at that, and let the more local regional conventions be the stars of the show. This is a controversial thing because some people really loved Minecon as opposed to their local-ish conventions, but it's also a somewhat better thing in some senses because it means that there will be higher attendance rates for the other Minecon or Minecraft conventions, and people don't often have to fly as far, and there are more of them, so you can possibly go to 2 per year because they're cheaper. So hopefully more of those conventions are able to, well, one, pop up, but also two, get themselves popular enough that they can either drive down ticket prices or improve the convention on a larger scale so that it's something that everyone can enjoy and they have plenty of places for everyone. But Minecon Earth is being a live stream. It's not a super long one, at least this time. Hopefully next year, if Minecon Earth continues to be a thing, it probably will, knowing Mojang. Hopefully it is a little bit longer next year. But there was hinted to be an interactive part to the live stream. It was revealed a month or so ago that there would be 4 mobs that would be voted upon to be put into the game. Only one will actually be put into the game, apparently. At least they have said so. It's possible that there might be some resurrection or redux of the other 3, or one of the other 3, or whatever, to possibly eventually be put into the game as well in some later updates. But for now, we're only going to get one. And it's probably going to be for 1.14, the next Minecraft version. As 1.13 is currently in snapshots and its technical stuff and possibly horse model. we're unsure about the final consensus on whether or not the horse model is staying. That's a whole other set of news, and it's already been covered for a week and a half or so. Well, more like a week, but still. Um, so there are four monsters, and very recently, as in today, this Thursday, 2 days before the freaking convention, details were released about the mobs. So there is the water monster, sort of like a kraken that pulls you under and eats you, probably, or consumes you or something. It's at least implied. It drowns you more or less. I think they're actually labeled in the photo. But then there's B, the air mob that targets Insomniac players high in the sky. Now, this is an interesting one and has a lot of allurement because there are only two other mobs that actually really fly all that much. Uh, if you're not counting the Wither or the Ender Dragon, which are two flying mobs. But there are no mobs that are designed to really fly high. Both the bat and the parrot, however, are designed to fly relative to the ground. And bats are designed to fly in caves, so they're actually flying relative to a ceiling most of the time. I do like the idea. The fact that it targets specifically Insomniac players, as in players who don't sleep, is an interesting thing. It might mean that there's some new technical improvements that could be made based on like how often you sleep, possibly giving some new API stuff and whatnot. But it would be cool to see some more overworld sky mobs actually appear. Now there is also C. It's somewhat been named. It's referred to as the Great Hunger by Jeb, who devours items and especially feasts on enchantments in a way players could use, apparently. So there might be a way to remove enchantments from items. What's been described has been that it will open its mouth and then burrow itself into the ground. So there might be now a burrowing mob, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff with the majority of these, like mobs that can actually move you around. With A, and the mob that actually flies around, based in the sky. The mob that hides in the ground. And now D, a sort of Blaze King, who spawns as a chance encounter among many blazes in a blaze spawner in the Nether. So this is sort of like making the Nether a little bit more spiced up, adding something new. And while I do think this would be an interesting thing, I don't think the Nether needs a mob overhaul at the or mob overhaul or a mob addition at the moment. There are a lot of things that the Nether could have changed with it, particularly in the way that its actual land generates, because the Nether is weird and has been the same way for so long. It is kind of due for an overhaul at some point soon, but for now we have what we have. And I personally like B or C the most, just because I like the idea of the burrowing mob, but I don't think the Great Hunger is perfect, so that's why I say mostly B is better. A flying mob would be cool, but I would prefer a passive mob before a hostile mob, or maybe a neutral mob. Maybe it will be a neutral mob and that we'll see occasionally, but it'll just be distressed during the night like spiders are. And only if you're an Insomniac player who hasn't slept for several nights, as it's been explained. So that's my video game input for today. We shall see on Saturday what the
What is
fans
chosen?
decide. Yeah, what the fans decide to choose on Minecon Earth. There's not. I see some people saying D is there, it's something. But a lot of people are saying the Nether should just get an overhaul before it gets a new mob.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because the Nether's become bland, actually, at this point. It kind of always has been, actually, because its terrain is samey. It has fortresses. There are mods that add a lot more interesting stuff that make it far more unique
Don't know
for a
about that.
modded Nether.
I was gonna say I'm not that big of a Minecrafty person, so I wouldn't really know.
Yeah,
But I
but
know you
I thought I
are.
would bring it up
So,
into the podcast because
oh yeah, of
I am a
course.
Minecraft lover.
Yes,
So,
he is. He does a lot of Minecraft stuff, and y'all need to go check it out because it's great.
uh-huh. Shameless plug from my Sunday streams. Subscribe and hit the little bell if you want to get notified. Haha.
For those Sunday streams, other shameless plug for our Thursday two gay stream series.
Yes.
Every Thursday we do some Night in the Woods.
We don't know what we'll do afterward. We'll see what
No,
we figure
but we
out.
want. But we. I want to say we want. I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, so do I.
But like I said, that's once we finish Night in the Woods. But
Yes. We have
anyway,
a little while before we have to get there.
yeast.
So, before we go, we would like to give our sponsor time to say their words.
Oh, they're sponsors. We have sponsors. Oh my god. Let's go talk to the sponsors. Well, we are talking to them. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. My name is Pastor Rector, and I am here to tell you about my church. Now, I'm supporting these homosexuals because they are entertaining, but I still want to reform them, and you can come and help me at my church. Shut up. I know what I'm doing. Anyway. Might as well piss off the church people. Anyway, as a pastor for the last 20 years of my life, I have been all over the world helping people left and right. And I want to come help you, but you can only help me by supporting my cause for $3.99 for a subscription paid service. I will give you access to lots of things that will not be accessible for the people who aren't on my subscription service. See where I'm going with this? What do you mean,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hush you. Anyway, as I have been part of this community for so long, I find it interesting that there are so many people who don't understand the word of the Lord. You gotta say it like that. It doesn't really work if you don't say it like that. You gotta let it out. You gotta say it and then stretch it out like Lord. But anyway, like I said, you pay for the subscription service and you get access to all sorts of different hymns and pastoral accounts from me and my time as a pastor. I have to admit, I didn't think I'd be supporting these people, but they're really cool and you need to support them too. Why don't you go to their non-existent Patreon and give them like $20? They could use the money. Yeah, I agree with him. We could totally use the money.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, totally. But anyway, that's enough of the pastor. We'll get him out of here. That was not one of my best ones. I just thought I would go for, I don't know, I felt like going for some like fire and brimstone church pastor guy.
I mean, it was funny.
Well, it would have helped if you would have laughed.
I was holding back just because I wanted to let you do your thing.
Which I understand, but I get nervous when it's like, because if you're not here, I understand that because you leave to go get up. I can do my commercials and I don't have to worry. But when you're here and I don't hear any laughing, I'm like, shit, is it funny? I worry.
Come on, babe. It was funny.
Okay, I was saying. Well, I can.
As someone who's seen enough fire and brimstone pastors to
give me feedback saying I was pretty accurate.
Yeah, you were. And it's a laughable version.
I would hope so. It's like you gotta do your best. But anyway, that's our first sponsor. We have 2 sponsors at the moment, and who knows, we may have 2 brand new ones next week because I need to think of more shit. But anyway, our second sponsor is the Crazy Hollow Nail Bitch. That's her YouTube name anyway.
Hi guys, my name is Brenda, and I do lots of nail stuff. And these guys are really cool, and I want you to come over and see all my stuff. It's like coolio and junk, and I do stuff with nails, but I also do stuff with hollow. I don't know what the fuck hollow is, but I heard it was popular, so I'm gonna do it. And I talk like this because I want people to kill me, you know, because apparently people all talk like this when I moved out to California. So I was like, oh my god, I should probably start talking like this. If I don't, I won't fit in. And that's what my boyfriend said too. He probably said he won't fit in me. Oh, I'm so bad. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't believe I'm doing this shit. Anyway, back to the bitch. But, you know, I have always been a supporter of the LG2BQ community. They're like super cool and junk, and I've also been a supporter of the ESPs. I don't know what they are, but they sound like a group too, so I'm gonna support them. I think it stands for like Aquarians and Petronians and Sabonians. I don't know, it just sounds cool. But anyway, I should probably talk about my channel because I'm a sponsor or something. I do, like I said, I do stuff with nails and hollow. I also do videos with my cat because I have like 30 cats because I have no life. But somehow I have like 2 million subscribers on YouTube. I really don't know how. I don't know. Am I supposed to say something here? It's like they didn't give me a script or anything. Usually when I do my videos, I have a script because it's like I don't know what to do. I'm a stupid girl. Oh shit, is the mic on? I wasn't supposed to say that. Whatever. Support these guys or some junk. I'm gonna go get wasted. Bye.
Well, that was something.
Yeah, we went from fire and brimstone to whiskey and Vicodin.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? What am I doing? You are doing nothing. Mister, I would just say if you could come up with a good, I would like to see, I've got to help you with this because I'd like to see you come up with a character or something.
I want to come up with one at some point too.
Those weren't.
Hopefully for next episode.
Yeah, I would. The problem is those weren't sponsors. I should do one more because those were sponsors, but those weren't like commercials. I did commercials. I need a commercial.
Can you come up with another crazy Acme product?
Oh yeah, I could go with Acme. I would say I didn't want to be predictable, but yeah, I can come up with Acme. I was like,
well, here's the thing: if we make a joke about Acme being a permanent sponsor.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, fine. You go ahead and talk about Acme, and I'll come up with a product real quick.
Acme are the products of everyone's desire. They are explosive devices. They are holes that lead to nothing. They are Acme.
That's right, Mr. Smith. I am J.V. Acme. I am the son of Roy B. Acme, the father and inventor of the Acme Corporation, and I have decided to sponsor you guys indefinitely since you are all so interesting, and you've taken our commercials before, so I'm here to sponsor another product. What I've got for you today is the Acme Boulder Bomb. Now it looks like any ordinary boulder, but when dropped on that pesky roadrunner, it explodes into a fiery ball of, well, fire. And it can be yours. For you now, I'm wondering, now, Mr. Smith, how much do you think you would have to pay for such a giant boulder bomb?
I don't know. $500?
No, sir. Even lower. Guess again.
100.
Even lower.
What? Is it $20?
No, it is 1999 plus shipping and handling, and it can all be yours, and we'll even give you a second boulder if you order right now. Call 6720-392-6969. Again, that's some number 6969, because 69 is the only important part I can remember. Or go to acme.com, where you can find all your Acme needs, including the Acme Hole, the Acme Weather Spray, and the Acme Roadrunner Killer 5000. Again, that's acme.com. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Jay or Bradley or whatever the fuck your name was. I should get an Emmy for this shit.
Yeah, you should.
Aw, thank you. Mwah.
Mwah.
But anyway, after all that excruciating craziness, that's gonna do it for us. And we'll see you next time, hopefully with A, this podcast, and B, because I know you said you want to work on it, another coming out on top video, because it's been long overdue.
Yes, and I want to do more of The Long Dark. I'm thinking I
Yes.
might wind up streaming it.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Yeah. Over winter holiday, I might be able to get back to streaming it. I might just want to start over.
But
I
I
was
can
saying before you came over, if I have to continue in January while you're here, that'd be good for commentary.
Yeah, and I'll just pop up and be like, "Ooh, get away from that blind bitch, she crazy." But yeah, no, I'd be alright with being able to provide commentary. Anytime I'm able to help you, I'm happy to help you, honey.
And it's appreciated, babe.
Mwah. But that'll do it for Mr. Blossoms.
And Mr. Smith. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Please do leave likes if you did, and subscribe and hit that little bell if you want to be both notified and keep up to date with my channel, as well as the streams on Thursdays and Sundays.
And my channel if I ever put out any fucking content.
Yeah, and if I ever actually make any non-stream or podcast content, yeah.
Well, don't worry.
Yeah, I know I will.
Don't worry, babe.
Mwah.
But yes, that'll do it for us until next time. We'll see you once again. This is Andrew Blossoms, and
Guy Smith signing off. I'll do it.
bye.
Bye.